stand. We're going to take it by outlawing the sale and manufacture of new fur in the city of Los Angeles. These sentient beings are bred and raised literally for the skin off their backs, and it's just plain wrong. It's 2018, and we must step up and stop this cruel practice. Some methods include the removal while the animals are still alive to preserve their health. Can you imagine how that torture must feel to the dogs, raccoons, foxes, rabbits, mink, and more? Gandhi said, the greatness of a nation and its moral progress can be judged by the way its animals are treated. Now, this has gained a lot of momentum. More than 80,000 people signed the Change.org petition to support this legislation here in the chambers today. That's more people than swung the presidential election in 2016. It's basically enough people to fill up the LA Coliseum. And we have a great alternative. Faux fur is a humane alternative. There is no reason to wear fur in 2018. Certainly not in sunny Los Angeles. You don't need it to make a fashion statement. And I know, folks, you may not take it from me, nobody's accused me of being a fashion icon. But listen to some of the fashion icons: Michael Kors, Jimmy Choo, Versace, Gucci, and most recently Burberry. They've all made commitments to remove fur from their line of products because they know more than 50 million animals are killed for their fur every year. Animals who are cultivated solely for their fur, they often spend their entire lives living in these cramped cages subject to deplorable conditions. Common practices include gassing, electrocution, suffocation, neck breaking. Electrocuting fur-bearing animals anally and generally is a slaughter method that is used in the industry to limit the damage to the fur, and it's used all the time. Be grateful to our council president because he wouldn't let me show you the undercover video of these horrendous practices. Thank you, Herbert. Now, currently there are some cities, some smaller cities, West Hollywood, Berkeley, San Francisco, that have adopted similar bans. And that's great that they've taken action. But when LA takes these actions, when the city of Los Angeles, the second largest city in the nation, takes this action, it will reverberate throughout this country. And I say throughout this world. Los Angeles will speak and we will speak loudly. Now, I know what some of the opponents are going to say. They're going to say, what about eating meat? Or aren't your shoes made out of leather? Or that kind of thing. Well, let me just shoot down those tired old arguments right now, once and for all. Okay? Leather and lambskin are byproducts of animals. They're not being banned today. And as far as eating meat, well, that's a debate that's gone on for centuries. But unlike eating, there is no necessity to wear fur. There simply isn't. So let's show that we are a responsible governing body and end this outdated and deplorable practice. Its time has come. This will not take effect for 2 years after the passage of this ordinance. That's going to give the very few stores that are in operation within our city limits plenty of time to sell their inventory and make the responsible switch to faux fur. Now, speaking of supporters, I want to specifically mention and thank Mark Ching and Veronica Rathkind of the Animal Hope and Wellness Foundation, Matt Russell of the Rescue and Freedom Foundation, and Shari Shankar, all for their support in this effort. And also, there are so many folks here. In fact, I'd like to ask all the supporters to take a moment and stand up and show yourselves being supportive of this important movement. Thank you for showing up. Colleagues, I urge your aye vote. Let's make history. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you to my colleague Bob Blumenfield for leading on this issue. It's time we end a truly inhumane process. There are people in the fur industry that say it's humane, that they've cleaned up their process, and I would say there are some in the fur process that are absolutely disgusting and reprehensible, and some that are just inhumane. I'd say the Chinese fur industry is the most disgusting. We were not as kind to our colleagues on the Personnel and Animal Welfare Committee, so Mark Ching was allowed to show videos of 2 separate meetings, 2 different videos that will probably give me nightmares for the rest of my life, with animals screaming as they're being electrocuted in their genitals. And some not killed by it, and then they skin them alive. It's just so disgusting, I don't believe that people can even envision it. But take my word for it, if there's anyone thinking about voting against this, if you saw that video, you would never give it another thought. There are some places where they're less inhumane, but there's nothing humane about raising an animal in terrible conditions just to kill it for vanity and a completely unnecessary thing. My mother died in 1980, and one of the things I'll always remember from that is I inherited a fur, which I can tell you I didn't keep for very long. But I was always thinking that after that, at some point there had to be a ban on fur. And I've done a lot of animal issues, so I deal with them one step at a time. But I think a fur ban is an issue whose time has definitely come. It is definitely overdue. We have to do it today, and I think we will set an example for the rest of the country and the rest of the world. And hopefully it won't be long before nobody kills and raises animals in horrible conditions just for fur. People thought it couldn't be done, and they said LA couldn't do some other things we did, like banning pole hooks, which ultimately led to Ringling Brothers shutting down. And banning puppy mills, which is being slowly replicated across the country, banning cat declawing, and now a ban on fur. I think we're taking just one more step, hopefully, to becoming the most humane city in the country. Hopefully, Chicago, New York, and other big cities will see what we're doing and follow our lead, and pretty soon there will be no big cities in which you can buy a fur coat anywhere in the country.
Councilman Paul Koretz.
Now, I've got to ask that we vote on one very minor amendment because it was spotted that the lack of a comma could give a slightly different meaning to one section of this. So in the first section, I'd like to add, after the words, with exceptions for the sale of used fur products, a comma.
Second.
Thank you. And with that change, let us pass this very historic measure, put ourselves out front of empty cruelty in the city of Los Angeles.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, Bob. Thank you, Paul. And let's add animal snares to another cruel practice that has been banned in the city of Los Angeles, along with the pull hooks and puppy mills. And, you know, cruelty and inhumane treatment is taught. It's acquired. It's unnatural. Look at any young person, and they abhor violence of any kind. It's time to break the chain of inhumane treatment for all animals. You know, there is no humane way to harvest fur from an animal. It's an impossibility, it's a myth, and we cannot stand idly by when we have an opportunity to do something about it. Those who are against this can rationalize cruelty all day long, but that's just what it is. They're rationalizing inhumane treatment and cruelty for the sake of vanity, and how disgusting is that?
Councilman O'Farrell.
For decades, we've had the ability to acquire faux fur. It's 2018. This is not the 18th century, the 19th century. There is no reason anywhere to harvest fur and the unconscionable treatment of these sentient beings who feel pain, they feel emotion, and to think that we have an opportunity, I would argue that we have an obligation to legislate against cruelty every chance we get. So, I want to thank all of the advocates for pushing this along, for always providing, I think, the very foundation of what it is to have a conscience amongst decision makers. You make the case better than any of us could. The truth is the truth, and to be human and to aspire to be better, to be enlightened, to be fair and compassionate to all others should be our objective in life. And I'm very proud to stand with you in supporting this ban, and I hope we have a unanimous vote to ban
All right. Let's see if we get a unanimous vote. Let's open the roll. Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
It happened. Fur is banned in Los Angeles. This is incredible. Fur is banned in Los Angeles. Wow. You are my hero. Thank you, sir.
Hey, I've rarely done anything this exciting, that we can keep hundreds, thousands of fur-bearing animals from having to go through torture and being skinned is just so heartwarming.
Councilman Paul Koretz, he and Councilman Blumenfield and Councilman O'Farrell made this happen. Thank you. You are watching history being made. Here we go. I'm going to just go out for a second and follow this. Thank you, sir. Look at this. Look at this. This is happening now. It's just so exciting. And all the people in red who are coming out and saying, wow, 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 wow.
Oh my gosh. We're so excited. Unanimous pass on the vote.
History.
Praise God. History made.
This is it. This is it. We're getting all the people who are leaving talking now. Everybody wore red, and it's just unbelievable.
Awesome. I'm so happy. It's unbelievable.
Celebration at O'Lock. Celebration at O'Lock.
Maggie Q, you made it happen.
Oh my God,
Woman, you are the greatest. Every time I see you, my heart fills.
You. Everybody is so excited. Everybody made it happen. Everybody. Ellen Dent, the amazing Ellen Dent. Everybody made it happen. It's unbelievable. We are live. We are live as history is underway. People crying with joy.
His fur, because I once had a coat and it had coyote fur around it, and I didn't know, and now we know, and there's no reason to ever take a fur off any animal, living sentient being, ever, to keep yourself warm. There's so many faux options and so many alternatives. Thank you so much, LA City Council, Paul Koretz, Bob Blumenfield, Mitch O'Farrell, thank you so much, everybody that supported this. We're bringing it home. Thank you.
Thank you, Jade. And you too. Power to the animals!
Olak, we're celebrating your Olak.
Everybody's headed over to Olak for a celebration. This is unbelievable. You are watching history in the making. Wow, what a moment.
Amazing, right?
Amazing. Just unbelievable. Wow. What do you have to say?
What do you have to say, team?
I have to say that I have hope for humanity.
I have hope for humanity.
I have hope for humanity.
Awesome.
Go for free!
Yeah. Wow. Now, we are just, I want to turn the camera on myself for a second and say, we are here, City Hall. If there was a moment of shakiness, we had to use other technology to get the audio from all of the council members who were sitting spaced out, and we weren't able to use the malt box with Facebook Live. So apologies for a little bit of rough camera turns there. But this is a moment of history. This is a moment where the human race has evolved. This is evolution happening right now at this very moment. The human species is evolving, and now we just need to tackle other issues like eating dead animals and their byproducts and wearing them. We can do it, people. The revolution has begun.